I'm here to tell you to stop preparing for the next season in Destiny 2. Why are you doing it? What is the point? What is the purpose that you're going for? What is the goal? Are you trying to get it as fast as possible? Well, you're actually going to be wasting time by grinding it out now as opposed to grinding it out in the future. Every single week in season in Destiny, you can get double experience for the first 5 season ranks. So what you can actually do is simply play Destiny 2 enough to get those 5 season ranks and then stop playing it and then play it again the next week when you have the double XP boost again. During the first week, of course, you want to do all the story content. So by all means, go ahead and do that. By the time you finish all the story content, you're actually going to be around season rank about 20 to 25 anyways, just because you just did the story content. Admittedly, some of the story content comes and goes throughout the weeks, but this just kind of illustrates my point is that what's the point in getting your power level so much higher? Are you trying to have an easier time during what? Trials? Because like that's based off of your equipment, which you can actually grind out all of those powerful gears anyways during that week instead of this week, since you only have a few days left in this week, unless you literally have no time next week. But in that case, why are you doing trials? You just put off trials for another week after that. Um, you're the idea of getting, and as far as trials goes, you're actually better off practicing the game and actually trying to improve your aim and trying to get better positioning. That's way, way more important than getting a like plus 3% damage to your opponent and taking 3% less damage from them. Albeit that is a very legible, tangible difference, but it's going to be more difference if you're just simply a better player and you become a better player. There's no other content that you need to be a high light for. Um, the rate doesn't increase. The story content is going to be at maximum 10 light above you, which is not difficult. Like, it's not that bad being 10 light underneath. Sorry to say, unless you're like a child who really has never played any other first person shooter before. But like, I'd imagine you've played Doom before, and Doom is a way harder game than Destiny is in most regards. Except for like the one exception to all this is, of course, well, Grandmaster Nightfalls. Grandmaster Nightfalls aren't even available the first week. They're usually delayed out. They have like a deadline of a few weeks in. You have plenty of time to be able to get to that enough power to actually get there. Not only that, most of the people I run into are already over rank season rank like 200, season rank 300 even. And it's the end of the season. And I'm like, why? Why are you season rank 200 or 300? Those extra cosmetics? Like, but you can get those anytime. There's no reason to prepare for them now. You can just play it in the game next week when the patch comes out. The game becomes better. Guns are fixed. Rocket launchers do more damage. You can have like more fun. Destiny gets better and better as time goes on. Stop playing the game while it's worse. Just wait and play it while it gets better. I'm not saying to hold everything off until the end of the year when all the expansions, all the content is like available, so that you can just do all of it. Although that is definitely a way to go. I mean, by all means, go ahead and stay current. But like, why are you wasting your time? It is a waste of time to turn in your materials for legendary shards or for enhancement cords, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, exotic ciphers, all the stuff that you might be using, might not. You're not really too. If you need those materials, go grind them out when you need to. If you need the glimmer, just that's when you go to Spider, see what materials you need to go do that. Like basically you're preparing for something you're not even sure you need. You don't know. You're preparing for next season so that you can finish the next season as quickly as possible and have nothing to do. You're preparing to become bored. You're preparing to hate the game and say that there's no content and there's nothing in there because you managed to grind everything out the season before instead of like casually playing the game and passively playing it. If you really, and I'll get there in a sec. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, Cosmos, but like there's nothing to do right now, and that's why finally there's something for me to prepare for. So there's something for me to do. So for what? So that you can have less due next season, so that you can prepare for the season after that. Like, you know that nobody cares if you have all the next season done. Nobody cares if you have some of those cosmetics. No one cares. You know what people do care about? Esoteric. They care about all these accomplishments that he's done, these solo Nightfall, Grandmaster Nightfall, these difficult contents. You know what people care about? Some of the Hush content that's really like kind of funny. Things like that, doing like these cool things. What are you doing with your life? Do something fun, enjoyable, create something you enjoy. Make a build that you kind of like or like want to play with those war cells, like go ahead and like each week check with the Banshee and like buy it just his mod so that you can create these cool, interesting builds. Who wants to go talk to Shax forever and spend the next like 2 hours turning in your 10,000 Crucible tokens for a bunch of legendary shards that you'll probably never use? There may come a day and time where you'll use them. Maybe one of these main expansions, the day one raid race, will be like you'll be super into it and you'll be able to like go in and you're like, man, this is what all my legendary shards have been for. There's only been one event that I am aware of, one event where you actually needed a ton of legendary shards, and that was the first person to break uh, power level 1000 because there was this whole uh, idea that was just like from one of the lore pieces that says like, oh, if you break season rank 1000, that so and so is going to meet you or something like that. I can't even quite remember what it was, and that to do that you had to talk to Spider and you had to turn in all those materials. It would all go in, and it was a huge drain on your bank account in order to grind as fast as possible to get to that season rank. And one person did that, and they got a nod from Bungie, and yeah, that honestly, great job for him. But I don't see Bungie doing something like that again because it wasted. It was just doing the most boring thing in the game. It is. I will not call it quite the waste of time that it is, because I wanted to do it as well, and I am jealous because I wanted to go grind that out. But honestly, just play the game casually. You want the best way to prepare for next season? Go watch the sunrise. Like, get a breath of fresh air. Go exercise. If you want to prepare for next season, have better goals. Not goals to complete all the content as fast as possible. Have goals to improve yourself. Patience is a virtue. Like, you will be a lot happier if you just give the game time, give yourself time. Stop wasting it.